This isn't just any ordinary salad. This salad is one that memories are built on. And I kid you not, it's my favorite layered salad that my mom used to make all throughout my childhood for special occasions. The best news is you make it ahead of time. Welcome to The Salted Pepper, where we cook for real life using real food and we keep it real simple. Today we're gonna make a simple salad with very basic ingredients. And in fact, you can change up any of the ingredients to use what you like. But the great thing about this salad is you can make it up about 2 days in advance. So it is perfect for a potluck party, for any type of entertaining, even a dinner where you want to have a portion of it done ahead of time. This is your go-to salad, and it is amazing. So first, let's get the dressing mixed up. This is a dressing that my mom used to make all the time. It's very, very simple, and it does use a packet of ranch seasoning. So if you don't want to use the packet of ranch, you can make up your own ranch seasoning, okay? Just look up a recipe online and mix up some different spices and you can get your own blend. But because I'm kind of paying tribute to my mom here today, I'm gonna stick with her method, which is using the package of Hidden Valley ranch dressing. All right, so what I have in this bowl right now is 1.5 cups of mayo. I'm using Hellmann's. You can use any good quality mayo. I don't recommend using Miracle Whip for this. It just will throw the flavor off. And then I have 3/4 cup of sour cream. So I'm gonna put that in here right now. We're gonna throw in the packet of ranch, which if you follow me a lot, I don't use a lot of packets, but when I'm making my mom's recipes, I like to stay very true to how she does it, and that's what she uses. And 1.5 tablespoons of sugar. Now, this is optional. You could leave it out. You could also use swerve or sugar substitute if you wanted, but again, this is mom's recipe. 1.5 tablespoons going in. And then I like to add a little extra dill, and I think mom always did too. So you can use between 1/2 teaspoon and a whole teaspoon, or if you're not a big fan of dill, skip it, it'll be fine. But I happen to like dill, especially in this recipe, so I'm gonna use a full teaspoon in my dressing. And then we whisk it up. This also makes a great dip for veggies. So if you wanted to skip the layered salad but have a vegetable tray, whip this dressing up. Oh my gosh, it's so amazing. All right, that looks good. Now I will set this to the side and let's get to layering our salad. Now, like I said before, you can use any type of ingredients that you want, but you want to keep them on the drier side. You don't want a lot of wet ingredients, like you don't want to put pickles in with pickle juice and things like that. But I'll go over a couple of variations that I've put in my salad and have worked perfectly fine. Now, the bowl I'm using to layer my salad in is a straight-sided 3-quart bowl that I bought off of Amazon. However, you can use any mixing bowl. It doesn't have to be straight-sided, so you can use any type of mixing bowl. Just remember, when you do that, your layers aren't going to be completely even, and that's fine. Mine aren't even going to be even when I do it in this bowl, but it will be perfectly fine. I've made it that way many times, and it's absolutely beautiful and delicious. All right, so the first thing that I'm gonna put in is my lettuce. Now, I've done this several different ways. You do want your lettuce, whatever kind you use, to be finely chopped. So think of this as like a chopped salad. If you've ever had that ordered at a restaurant, all the ingredients are chopped up. That is how you want to prep everything that you put in it, okay? So it's going to be finely chopped. I've used a combination of romaine and iceberg. I've used some iceberg and some other salad mixes like butter, lettuce, and things like that. It's perfectly fine, but you do want to have some of the iceberg or some of the romaine with whatever other kinds of lettuce that you use, because you want this to be really crispy, okay? And so I think iceberg is the best choice, and that's what I have here today. I didn't even mix it with romaine. So I have one small head, which is about, I would say, 4 to 5 cups. The measurements depend on the size of your bowl, okay? So if you have a much smaller bowl, you're going to use half of a head, okay? Because you want to make sure you fit it all in the bowl. But I'm going to go ahead and start layering this in. So put a layer of your lettuce on the bottom. And it is important that you layer in order of the lettuce being on the bottom, the dressing being on the very top. But other than that, you can really play around with it and layer it however you want. So I may not use all of this lettuce. I'm looking here now where it's coming up about 1.5 inches, and that's about all I want, really. So I used about 3/4 of the head of lettuce, and I will save the rest. You can also, this is a great point. In fact, I should do that. I will. If you have leftover lettuce and you've already chopped it and it's too much for your bowl, put these in mason jars. Layer little mason jars of individual servings of salad. Throw them in the refrigerator and you have lunch prepped, okay? And it's really, really good. All right, next up is our carrots. This is 4 medium to large size carrots that I peeled and grated. And I recommend grating the carrots for this recipe. You can finely chop them, but really grated is going to be a better texture. And we're going to layer that on. What I like to do is make sure that I can see the nice layer of carrots all around the bowl. So if you're running low on ingredients and you're not sure if you're going to have enough to make a nice layer, go around the edges first, okay? Make that a little bit thicker so you can really see the layers. It makes it just so beautiful for a presentation. All right, next up is celery and some green onions. Now you can choose to put some finely chopped red onions in this, or whatever you want, but I like the celery and the green onions. That's just my preference. So this is 4 stalks of celery, again finely chopped, and I'll just put this right here along the edges first, because you don't want as much of the celery as you do some of the other ingredients, so we don't need to get carried away there, but I'll put them on the edges here. All right, and then the green onions I do the same thing with, put them along the edges a little bit, and then just sprinkle them throughout. And I used about 4 green onions. Now you could use as many as you like, but I found that that was a good amount to flavor the salad nicely. All right, the next thing I put on is sliced black olives. This is totally optional, okay? I don't even think my mom used those, but this is about a cup. I got one of the larger jars. I don't remember. I think it's like maybe 12 ounces of already sliced. I drain them really well. That's important. You don't want the olive juice because you don't want this to be a wet salad since we're going to refrigerate it overnight. The other things that I've used instead of olives, or in addition to, because again, it's your salad, make it the way you want, pickled beets. Oh my gosh, they're amazing. Chop them fine, let them drain. Don't use the juice, like we said before, and put pickled beets. If you like pickled beets, it's amazing in this salad. So, but I'm not going to use those today because my husband does not like beets at all. So now I'm going to go around with the olives. Again, go around your edges so that you can really see that nicely. And then sprinkle them all around like that. Perfect. Now look, we've got 4 layers plus the dressing. And I'm getting kind of full here, right? So what you can do is push it down. Push it down. All right. All right, the next layer I'm going to put on are the hard-boiled eggs. This is 4 hard-boiled eggs here, and I'm just going to do the same thing. Put them around the outside. You might be wondering about cheese and why I don't have any out here. Well, that comes later. I put the cheese and the bacon on just before serving. So right now I'm just preparing this so that we can get it into the refrigerator and then let it sit overnight, which I recommend doing. It really does help with all the flavors. I think it gives the dressing time to really develop flavors, and it's delicious. I have, though, served it right after making it, and it's still really good, but it's just not as good as if you let it sit. All right, next up, cucumbers. These are 3 small cucumbers, so it's like maybe 1.25 cups of cucumbers here, finely diced. And again, go around the edges here. All right, then we've got tomatoes. I think we're gonna be just fine. Might need to press down just a little bit more. And then we'll put our cherry tomatoes. I use cherry tomatoes. You can use any kind of tomato that you like, but when you slice it, try to get the juice to drain out. So you can even slice them and then put them in a colander, to drain for a little bit, because you don't want them to be too wet. And this is 8 ounces, so it's turned out to be about 2 cups. All right, now that those are on, I also like to just sprinkle a little dill on top. And that's just my preference. You don't have to do this, but I just sprinkle a little bit, like maybe 1/4 teaspoon, not too much. You can use fresh dill as well. That's no problem. If you're going to use fresh dill, use about 1 tablespoon in the dressing, and use as much or as little as you like in the salad. All right, next up are the peas. Now the peas are frozen, 12-ounce bag frozen, that were thawed but not cooked. You can steam them for a minute if you want, but I find that they do not need to be cooked at all. They're already blanched. They're the perfect texture for putting into a salad. So what I do is I just make sure they're completely thawed. I rinse them with water, let them drain, and keep them in the refrigerator until I'm ready to make the salad. So you can do this a couple days ahead of time as well. And then we just put the peas on. All right, there you have it. Now the dressing goes on top. This seals in everything, so you definitely want to put your dressing on before you put it in the refrigerator. You don't have to use as much as I do. It depends on the size of your bowl, but I like a nice layer of this dressing. And then just spread it out so it gets all the way to the edges. Can you imagine how pretty it's going to be when we top it with some cheese and some bacon? Oh, I'm so excited. All right, there we go. Now it goes in the refrigerator for at least 6 to 8 hours, but usually I just do it overnight, so I'll make it up the day before. You can even make it up 2 days before your event. So our layered salad has been in the refrigerator overnight, and now it's time to put on the final touches and serve it up. So look, see, even though the dressing was high in the bowl, because it was refrigerated and got cold, there really isn't that much on the cling wrap. Okay, so the next thing is to add cheese. Any kind of shredded cheese you want. My mom used to make some cheddar with even some Swiss mixed in. You can use yellow, you can use white, you can use any kind of cheese that you like. I'm using plain sharp cheddar today. And just sprinkle it all over the top here. And I'm using about 2 cups. You can put as little or as much cheese as you want. You could even put a layer of cheese in the salad and then top it with just a little bit more for decoration, or skip it on the top. It's whatever you want to do. It's perfectly fine. All right, that looks good. And then the bacon. 4 strips of thick cut bacon is what I'm using, and then I just crumbled it up. You can use any kind of bacon you like. Sound like a broken record now. You can skip the bacon, of course, if you want to keep it without any meat. That's perfectly fine. You could also, if you wanted to add meat to it, you could put a layer of chopped ham. I mean, that would be delicious. So get creative with this salad because it's incredible, and the dressing will go with just about anything at all. All right, I'm just going to move this over here. Now, scooping it out, especially the very first scoop, is challenging, okay? Not even going to kid you on that one. It is challenging. So I take a spoon and I say a little prayer, right? Okay, here we go. So just go straight down, all the way down. And then gently lift up, trying to cut out some of that salad And yeah, I kind of use my fingers to kind of keep it on the spoon as I lift it up and put it in the bowl. Okay, now go down in there. Now it's going to be easier. Now get that rest of the bottom lettuce. And from here on out, it's pretty easy. Now, some people toss this salad, so they'll just mix all the ingredients together and toss it up. You can do that, but I think one of the amazing things about this salad is the layers and how beautiful they look. And the dressing just gets mixed in with everything else, and then you have your salad. Oh my gosh. This is my all-time favorite salad. So I made this recipe for the first time to serve it to Jeff. And of course, I didn't make this recipe up, although I tweaked the dressing a little bit, but I didn't make the salad up. It has been around for a long time. Like I said, my mom's been making it since I was a little girl. Jeff took one bite and he said, "This is the best salad I've ever had in my life." It truly is. Use the ingredients that you love in your salad. Make these beautiful layers. Top it with this delicious homemade or semi-homemade, because we did use a packet of dressing mix. Top it with whatever cheeses you want. Put bacon, skip the bacon, whatever you want. Just make this salad once, and I bet it will become your favorite too.